The rock cycle. Just like the water cycle, the Calvin cycle, the life cycle, the motorcycle. The rock cycle, like many cycles, is a repeating process that occurs over and over. A cycle can be summarized as a series of changes that takes place over a long time. In this case, it's rocks, just like this one, and this one, and this one. But what exactly is the rock cycle? Well, the rock cycle is about how rocks generate and erode over time. It involves the rock types igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. What do all of these mean, and how do they change? Well, all rocks that are made from the rock cycle were previously a different type of rock or some form of organic matter. The term igneous means created under circumstances involving intense and extreme heat, as rocks of volcanic origin or rocks crystallized from molten magma. This means these types of rocks are formed in extreme heat, like the center of the Earth. In the center of the Earth, there is extreme pressure. There is a whole planet around you. On top of that, there is also friction, and these combined together mean extreme heat. Heat that is as hot as the sun's surface.
Yeah, that's hot.
This heat causes rocks that may have been other types of rocks previously to be pushed down to the core and melt into molten rock, or magma. Let's apply cause and effect to this situation. The cause is that the pressure and friction cause extreme heat. The effect is that rocks will melt into magma. Some magma cools while it is still in the crust of the Earth, and ends up deep underground in the forms of rocks such as diorite and granite, while some magma will be pushed to the surface through volcanoes and other means. When the magma cools at the surface, we call it lava. Lava that cools on the surface is called an extrusive igneous rock. However, when it cools in the crust, we call it an intrusive igneous rock. Diorite and granite are both examples of intrusive igneous rocks. But what about the others? Metamorphic rocks are formed under similar conditions, i.e. the boiling hot temperatures. They have two different types or ways to classify them, foliated and non-foliated. Foliation is the alignment of minerals that when put under pressure, line up in their formation. Metamorphic rocks were previously different or the same type of rock, but underwent a transformation. However, instead of melting like igneous rocks, they are simply changed to a new state. This could be because of mineral rearrangement or fluids that cause a reaction. Even rocks that have been metamorphosed before can be changed again. Gee, these things can't decide who they are. These rocks could be folded, squished, and even almost completely crushed, but they don't melt like igneous rocks and remain a solid. The cause would be pressure and friction in the center of the Earth. The effect would be the metamorphosed rock. Since igneous rocks are made in a similar way, melting into magma can be another effect. Examples of metamorphic rocks include gneiss, quartz, marble, and slate, which are most often used in the construction and stylizing of buildings. And finally, sedimentary rocks, which are formed near or at the Earth's surface, compared to metamorphic and igneous, which are formed deep underground. Sedimentary rocks, like the name suggests, are formed from sediments that pile up over millions of years and have three ways to classify them: clastic, organic, and chemical. Clastic sedimentary rocks are formed from pieces of pre-existing rocks. An example would be sandstone, made from sand that has cemented and become solid over time. Organic sedimentary rocks are formed from organic matter, like plants and animal bones that have compressed over time and have formed into an organic sedimentary rock, such as coal. The process for these two types of rocks begins with the weathering and breaking down of the rock's organic matter into small fragments or flinders. These fragments are then transported to a new location via wind, rain, and other means. Once this sediment settles and new layers keep piling up, the lower parts become so tightly compressed it becomes solid rock. Let's apply cause and effect to these types of sedimentary rocks. The cause is sediment is layered on top of itself. The effect is the sediment becomes more and more compressed, forming a sedimentary rock. But that was a lot of information, so let's go back over it as quickly as possible and summarize it all. Igneous rocks are when previous rock matter, whether that was igneous, metamorphic, or sedimentary rocks, have been pushed to the center of the Earth in some way and melted into magma. This magma then cools and forms an igneous rock, whether on the surface or deep underground. Metamorphic rocks are similar to igneous rocks, but when they were pushed into the oven, they remained strong and didn't melt like its friend igneous, but endured through it all, coming out as a changed rock at the end of the day. And sedimentary rocks, This is when small pieces of organic matter or previously existing rock, whether that be igneous, metamorphic, or sedimentary, is broken down into its finest pieces and travels to a new location through weather. This place could be underwater or on land. At this location, sediment piles up until it is compressed into solid rock. And that is the rock cycle.